the same fire of physical suffering. If you cannot master the simple task of moving your body, you will never master the complexities of fate. Every rep you skip is a lie. You tell yourself about who you are and what you deserve. Pain is a teacher that never lies, and it demands that you pay attention to your own pathetic limits. Are you afraid of the sweat, or are you afraid of discovering exactly how much potential you have wasted? A strong frame supports a strong mind, and both require a daily sacrifice that you have been avoiding. Stop negotiating with your laziness as if it has a seat at the table of your future self. Control is not something you find in the outside world, but something you exert over the chaos within your mind. You react to every insult and every minor inconvenience like a leaf being blown around by a cold autumn wind. Why do you give away your power so easily to people who do not even know your middle name? Stoicism is not the absence of emotion, but the absolute mastery over how those emotions dictate your physical actions. You must become a fortress that cannot be breached by the petty dramas of those who live without purpose. When the world tries to break your spirit, you must respond with a silence that is louder than noise. Do you think the giants of history spent their time crying about the unfairness of their particular circumstances? They built their empires on the ruins of their own excuses, and you must learn to do the same. Mastery of the self is the only victory that truly matters in this short and brutal life. Responsibility is the heavy crown that most men are too terrified to wear because it demands the death of blame. You point your finger at your upbringing, the economy, or your boss, while your own house remains in ruins. Why do you seek a scapegoat when you are the one holding the compass of your own miserable journey? Everything that happens to you is your fault, because even if you did not cause it, you choose the response. A man who blames others is a man who admits he is powerless to change his own wretched reality. You must own your failures with the same intensity that you claim your victories in your wildest dreams. Are you tired of being a victim, or have you grown fond of the pity you receive? There is no dignity in a life lived as a series of reactions to external forces you refuse to control. Extreme ownership is the only path to a freedom that cannot be taken away by any man. Focus is the currency of the elite, and you are currently spending yours like a fool in a casino. You jump from one distraction to another because you are afraid to sit alone with your own shallow thoughts. Why do you allow tech giants to harvest your attention while your own goals starve for a single hour of work? Deep work is a superpower in an age where most men cannot focus for more than 10 pathetic seconds. You must learn to say no to the trivial many, so you can say yes to the vital few. Your energy is a finite resource that is being drained by apps and people who add nothing to your character. Do you realize that your lack of concentration is the reason your progress is stalled for so many years? Build a wall around your time and kill any intruder who dares to steal your mental clarity today. Without focus, you are just a fast car with no steering wheel heading for a massive crash. The mirror reflects a man who's traded his destiny for the hollow warmth of a screen and a comfortable chair. You have been sedated by a culture that rewards the average and mocks the man who strives for more. Why do you feel the need to be understood by people who have given up on their own greatness? Your desire for social acceptance is a leash that keeps you walking in circles with the rest of the herd. Silence is where the real work happens, away from the applause and the desperate need for digital likes. Do you have the courage to disappear for a year and rebuild yourself in the dark without telling anyone. The world does not need more talkers. It needs men whose results are so loud they cannot be ignored. Every time you explain your plans, you bleed the energy required to actually execute them with cold precision. Stop seeking a witness for your evolution and start becoming the man who doesn't need one. Failure is not an ending, but a mandatory tax that every man must pay on the road to mastery. You are so paralyzed by the fear of looking stupid that you have remained a permanent amateur in your life.
Why do you treat a setback like a funeral instead of a lesson written in the blood of effort? The only way to find your limit is to crash against it until the barrier finally gives way to your will. You have been taught to seek safety, but safety is just a slow death dressed in a business suit. A man who has never failed is a man who has never truly tested the depth of his soul. Are you going to let a single mistake define the rest of your story? Or will you use it? Build your character on the foundation of your scars, because those are the only things that cannot be faked. Victory belongs to the man who can endure the most boredom and the most repetitive, grinding work. Consistency is the boring secret that separates the legends from the ghosts who haunt the halls of potential. You think you can work hard for a week and then rest on your laurels like a king. Why do you believe that a single moment of effort entitles you to a lifetime of results and respect? The universe does not reward the intense burst, it rewards the relentless drip of water that eventually carves through stone. You must become a machine that operates regardless of the weather, the economy, or the state of your heart. Do you have the stomach for the mundane tasks that lead to the extraordinary heights you claim to desire? Most men quit when the novelty wears off and the reality of the grind sets in for the long haul. You must find a way to be the man who stays when everyone else has found a reason to leave. Discipline is not a one-time event, but a daily ritual of self-conquest that never truly ends. Character is what remains when you have lost everything else and find yourself standing alone in the cold dark. It is the internal architecture that decides whether you stand tall or crumble under the weight of a heavy life. Why do you spend more time decorating your external life than you do building the foundations of your own integrity? A man of character does not lie to himself or others because his word is his only true currency. You must be willing to walk the path of most resistance if it leads to the truth of your soul. Do you act the same way in the dark as you do when the world is watching your every move? Your reputation is what others think of you, but your character is what you know to be true. Stop chasing the shadow of success and start becoming the substance that casts it into the world around you. You are the architect of your own honor, or the mason of your own deep shame. The old you is dead, or he is dying, and you must not mourn his passing, for he was the only thing standing in your way. The comfort you once craved is a poison that leads to a stagnant life and a forgotten name. Do you feel the weight of the responsibility you now carry to the man you are becoming? There is no going back to the fog of distraction and the weakness of excuses now that you have seen the truth. You have been given the tools to forge a soul of iron, but the hammering must never stop if the blade is to stay sharp. The path ahead is lonely, steep, and demanding. And that is exactly why it is the only path worth walking for a man of honor. You will be tempted to rest, to slip back into the warm embrace of mediocrity, and to seek the approval of the small-minded.
Will you succumb to the gravity of the masses, or will you rise like a pillar of discipline in a world of chaos? Every choice you make from this second forward is a brick in the monument of your character. The world is waiting to see if you have the stomach to stay consistent when the fire of this moment cools into a steady, cold resolve. Go now and build a life that demands respect from the mirror before it asks for anything from the world. Silence your tongue and let the results of your labor scream your name across the landscape of your industry and your home. Are you ready to live as a man who is truly free? Because he is a master of his own internal empire. This is not a finish line. It is the first breath of a new existence defined by struggle, strength, and an unbreakable will. The time for talk has vanished into the wind, and the time for relentless, uncompromising action has finally arrived.
Look at the man in the mirror and tell me, truly, do you recognize the fire that used to burn there? You've spent years drifting through a fog of comfort, allowing your potential to be smothered by the very things meant to distract you from your own decline. Every time you chose the easy path, you traded a piece of your soul for a fleeting moment of relief. How much of you is even left after all those compromises? The world does not care about your excuses, but the invisible burdens you claim to carry. The clock is not your friend, and it certainly does not wait for you to feel ready or motivated to change. Every second you spend scrolling through the lives of others is a second you steal from your own legacy. You are bleeding time, and yet you act as if you have an infinite supply stored in a bank. Do you really believe that greatness will just happen to you while you sit there waiting for a sign? The sign is the decay you feel in your gut every time you settle for less. Think about the ancestors who survived wars, famine, and brutal winters just so your bloodline could reach this moment. Would they be proud of the way you spend your energy? Or would they be ashamed of your softness? You are the result of 1,000 victories, yet you live like a man who has already accepted defeat. Why have you allowed your discipline to become a suggestion rather than a law? You have become a slave to your impulses, a puppet dancing for the entertainment of those who profit from your weakness. The old version of you is a ghost haunting a house that is currently on fire. You cannot save him, and if you try, you will only perish alongside the mediocrity he represents. There is a version of you that is silent, focused, and absolutely lethal in his execution of duty. He does not seek validation from strangers or comfort from a bottle. He is waiting for you to kill the coward who currently occupies your skin. Are you brave enough to pull the trigger on your own ego? This is the end of the road for your excuses, and the beginning of a life defined by cold, hard reality. Tomorrow is a lie told by people who are too afraid to face the truth of today. Your evolution requires the total destruction of your current identity, leaving only the bone and muscle of character behind. Stop looking for a way out and start looking for the way through the pain. The transformation starts the moment you decide that being average is a fate worse than death. Stop waiting for a feeling to save you, because your feelings are the very chains that keep you grounded in the dirt. Motivation is a fickle drug for the weak, who need a pat on the back to do what is necessary. Why do you treat your duties like they are optional suggestions based on your mood? A man who cannot control his own whims is nothing more than a child in a grown body. Discipline is the only language the universe respects when it comes to the construction of a real legacy. You must learn to love the silence of the early morning and the burning in your chest. Is your comfort worth more than the respect of the man you were meant to become?
Every time you hit snooze, you are telling your goals that they are not important. You are voting for your own failure with every moment of hesitation you allow into your day. True power is found in the ability to do exactly what you hate when it is required. The modern world is a trap designed to keep you sedated and easy to manage through endless digital noise. You're being fed a diet of cheap dopamine and fake validation to ensure you never realize your own strength. Why do you care about the opinions of people who do not even have control over their own lives? Your phone is a cage, and every notification is a bar that keeps you from seeing the truth. Silence is the weapon of the wise and the shield of those who are building something that lasts. You speak too much about what you intend to do and do too little to actually prove it. Greatness is not loud, and it does not need an audience to justify its existence in the world. Look at your habits and tell me if they belong to a king or to a peasant. If you do not curate your environment, it will surely curate a version of you that is weak. Your body is a physical manifestation of your mental standards. And right now, your standards are far too low. Why do you allow your vessel to become soft while you claim to have a mind of iron and steel? You cannot separate the man from his discipline because they are forged.
The world is screaming at you to be noticed, to react, and to fragment your soul into 1,000 digital pieces. You are surrounded by a high-conflict landscape that rewards the loud and punishes the thoughtful, leaving you drained and hollowed out. Have you ever considered that your current exhaustion is actually a signal that the old version of you is dying? This is not a tragedy, but the necessary precursor to a transformation that the modern world is too terrified to undergo. True power does not announce itself with a megaphone. It gestates in the shadows where no one is watching. While others are busy performing their lives for an audience of strangers, the man of substance retreats into the stillness to audit his own spirit. What would happen if you stopped seeking external validation and started hunting for the truth within your own quiet mind? The stage of isolation is the first law of the forge, where the heat of your own focus burns away the trivial. You must accept that the noise of society is a curated distraction designed to keep you from realizing your own potential. We live in an era where stoic, traditional values have been traded for shallow outrage and temporary trends that offer no lasting foundation. Do you feel the weight of these empty distractions pulling you away from the man you were meant to become? Rebirth demands a total rejection of the collective chatter in favor of a singular internal objective. This silence is not a void. It is a weaponized space where you reconstruct your character away from the corrosive influence of modern mediocrity. It is the stage of internal warfare where you confront the weaknesses you've hidden behind the constant hum of your smartphone and the opinions of others. Are you brave enough to sit in a room alone until your true self finally decides to speak? This confrontation is the only way to ensure the foundation you build next is unbreakable. The process of starting over begins the moment you realize that silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of absolute clarity. As you shed the skin of your former self, you will find that the world begins to lose its grip on your emotions and your direction. You are no longer a passenger in the chaos, but the architect of a new disciplined reality. Are you ready to leave the noise behind and witness the birth of a version of yourself that cannot be shaken? The modern world is a marketplace of constant noise, selling you the lie that to be silent is to be forgotten. Society now rewards the fastest tongue and the shallowest thought, leaving no room for the weight of character. Do you feel the pull of the digital void, demanding you participate in every petty conflict and fleeting trend? Ancient men understood that a man's strength was measured by his restraint, not his ability to contribute to the din. They built monuments that outlasted empires because they spoke only when the word was worth more than the stillness. Now, we trade our internal peace for likes and comments, building our houses on the shifting sands of public opinion. Is your life currently a reflection of your own principles, or is it a collage of external expectations and noise? The first step of your rebirth is to realize that the noise is a cage designed to keep you small. By refusing to react, you reclaim the energy that the modern landscape has been draining from you for years. Will you choose to step out of the spotlight of distraction and enter the sanctuary of your own hidden mind?
In the past, a man's word was his bond, forged in the fires of slow deliberation and hard physical reality. Today, we are encouraged to speak before we think and to react before we even understand the context of our anger. We have replaced the solid iron of traditional stoicism with the brittle plastic of instant gratification and high-conflict dialogue. Do you find yourself reacting to the world with a sense of urgency that yields no actual progress?
In your life, the traditional man did not need the world to validate his existence, because his work spoke for itself in the silence. He understood that true growth is a private affair, happening in the early hours before the rest of the world wakes. Modern society hates this privacy, because a man who doesn't need attention is a man who cannot be easily controlled. Are you willing to become a ghost to the world so that you can finally become a reality to yourself? Rebirth requires you to stop feeding the machine that profits from your distraction and your constant, aimless emotional output. When you stop performing for the crowd, what remains of the person you claim to be behind the closed doors? Silence is the ultimate filter, separating the man of action from the man of mere words and empty intentions. The modern landscape is littered with those who announce their plans before they have even taken a single step forward. They seek the dopamine of applause for a journey they haven't started, effectively killing the drive to actually finish it. Do you notice how the desire to achieve fades once you have told everyone exactly what you intend to do? Stoic tradition teaches that the seed of greatness must be buried in the dark, away from the sun, to grow. By keeping your mouth shut, you build an internal pressure that can only be released through massive, tangible execution. This is the law of the closed loop, where energy is recycled into work rather than being dissipated into the air. Are you prepared to let your results do the talking while you remain a mystery to those who crave your details? The modern world cannot stand a man who works in the shadows because it cannot predict or manipulate his next move. How much more could you accomplish if you redirected every word of boasting into an hour of focused, silent labor? The modern landscape tells you that being alone is a weakness, a sign that you are unwanted or socially irrelevant. In truth, the ability to sit in a room in total silence is the ultimate test of a man's mental sovereignty. Most people use the noise of the world to drown out the internal voices that tell them they are falling short. Are you using the chaos of your social feed to hide from the uncomfortable truths that only emerge in stillness? Traditional Stoicism viewed isolation as a training ground where the soul was hardened against the opinions of the masses. When you remove the external feedback, you are forced to look at your own character without the comfort of a mask. This is where the rebirth truly begins, in the cold realization that you have been living for people who don't care. Will you embrace the solitude required to strip away the false layers of your personality and find the core within? A man who is comfortable in his own silence is a man who can never be truly lonely or easily broken. What parts of your current identity would vanish if there was no one around to watch you or give you credit? Conflict in the modern world is often a performance, a way for the weak to feel powerful without taking risks. We see high-conflict personalities everywhere, seeking to drag you into their drama to steal your focus and your peace. The Stoic path teaches us that your energy is a finite resource that must be guarded with a jealous, unwavering intensity. Do you find yourself giving away your mental real estate to people and arguments that do not move your life forward? Rebirth starts when you decide that your silence is more valuable than proving a point to a person who isn't listening. Traditional values placed a premium on the quiet professional, the man whose competence was so high, he never needed to argue. By withdrawing from the theater of public outrage, you keep your power intact and focused entirely on your own mission. Are you ready to be perceived as wrong or uninformed by the world?
so that you can stay right with yourself. This is the price of entry for a hire.
Level of existence. You must be willing to be misunderstood by many. How much faster would you grow if you stopped defending your ego and started investing that time into your craft? The modern world is obsessed with the now, a frantic cycle of consumption that leaves no room for historical perspective. We have forgotten the rhythms of the seasons and the patience required to build something that lasts longer than a week. Stoicism anchors a man in the long view, reminding him that the trials of today are merely ripples in a vast ocean. Are you focusing so much on the immediate noise that you have lost sight of the legacy you want to build? Rebirth requires a shift in your relationship with time, moving away from the frantic and toward the deliberate and the enduring. Ancient structures were built stone by stone, often by men who knew they might not see the final, finished product. You must adopt this same mindset, working in silence on a foundation that the world cannot see or easily appreciate yet. Will you commit to the boring, repetitive work that leads to greatness, even when the modern world offers easy shortcuts? True growth is rarely cinematic. It is a quiet, daily grind that takes place far away from the flashing lights. What are you building today that will still have value 10 years from now when the current trends have turned to ash? Emotional volatility is the currency of the modern age, where everyone is encouraged to be a slave to their own feelings. We are taught that our impulses are our truth, rather than being the raw weather we must learn to navigate through. The traditional man was a master of his internal climate, standing like a rock while the storms of emotion broke against him. Do you let your daily moods dictate whether or not you show up for the work that your future self demands? Silence allows you to observe your emotions without being consumed by them, creating a space between the impulse and the action. In this space, you find your freedom, because you are no longer a puppet pulled by the strings of external circumstances. Rebirth is the process of becoming the master of your own house, ensuring that logic and discipline hold the keys. Are you willing to kill the part of you that waits for inspiration or motivation before taking the necessary steps? The world respects a man who is consistent regardless of his feelings, because such a man is fundamentally and totally unstoppable. When you stop letting your emotions run the show, what becomes possible for the disciplined version of the man you are? We live in an age of hyperconnectivity that has paradoxically made us more disconnected from the physical world and ourselves. We know everything about the lives of strangers and nothing about the mechanics of our own hearts or our own hands. The Stoic tradition calls for a return to the tangible, to the weight of the earth, and the reality of physical effort. Have you noticed how your anxiety diminishes when you put down the phone and pick up a tool or a heavy weight? Silence is often found in the exhaustion of the body, but the mind is finally forced to stop its endless, circular racing. Rebirth is not just a mental shift. It is a physical reclamation of your vitality and your presence in the actual world. The modern man is often a ghost in a machine, but you were meant to be a force of nature in the real. Will you disconnect from the digital simulation long enough to remember what it feels like to truly breathe and to sweat? The quiet strength of a body in peak condition provides a foundation for a mind that can no longer be easily swayed. How would your confidence change if your physical reality was as sharp and disciplined as the thoughts you are trying to cultivate? Modern society fears the strong, silent type, because that man represents a standard that exposes the weakness of the majority.
you will find that as you become more silent and focused,
people will try to pull you back into the noise. They will call you cold or arrogant or distant because they cannot handle the mirror that your discipline holds up to them. Are you prepared to lose the approval of the mediocre in order to gain the respect of the few who actually matter? Traditional values were never about being liked by everyone. They were about being respected by the men you actually admired. Rebirth involves a pruning of your social circle, removing the branches that are dead and only serve to weigh you down. In the silence of your new life, you will hear the voices of the greats more clearly than the whispers of peers. Can you handle the weight of being different, or will you fold under the pressure to fit back into the crowd? The path of the Stoic is a lonely one at first, but it leads to a summit where the air is clear. Who are the people in your life who actually challenge you to be better, rather than just inviting you to stay comfortable? The final stage of rebirth is the realization that the silence was never a destination, but a permanent way of being. You do not return to the noise once you are strong. You carry the stillness within you like a hidden, glowing ember. The modern world will still be chaotic, but you will move through it like a ghost, untouched by the surrounding frantic energy. Do you see now that your power comes from the fact that you no longer need anything the world is selling? Traditional Stoicism is the art of internal victory, a conquest of the self that makes all external battles seem remarkably small. You have rebuilt your foundation in the dark, and now you are ready to step back into the light as a man. The silence has given you back your time, your focus, and your dignity, which are the only things that truly belong to you. Will you protect this inner sanctuary with your life, or will you allow the noise to seep back into your soul? The man you were is dead, and the man you are now is a testament to the power of a quiet, focused will. Are you ready to walk the earth with the quiet confidence of a man who has already conquered his own worst enemy? The world is waiting for you to fail, to fold, and to return to the comfort of the screaming masses. It wants you distracted, divided, and dependent on its constant stream of digital validation. But you have tasted the silence now, and you know the truth that they are too afraid to face. Rebirth is not a gift. It is a theft. You must steal your life back from the thieves of attention and the peddlers of outrage. Will you let this moment of clarity slip away? Or will you forge it into a permanent shield against the mediocrity of the modern age? You are standing at the threshold of a life defined by your own terms, anchored in values that have stood the test of centuries. The noise will try to find you, but it will find no purchase in a mind that is disciplined and a spirit that is at peace. This is the final charge. Go out and build. Build your body, build your mind, and build a reality that reflects the quiet strength you have discovered in the dark. The time for talking is over, and the time for a wordless, undeniable excellence has begun. Can you feel the hunger for the work that lies ahead? The silence was the beginning, but your actions will be the legacy. Do not look back at the burning bridges of your old life. They were only meant to light your way forward. The modern world has nothing to offer a man who has mastered himself. The hunger you feel is the proof of your new life, a fire that requires no fuel from the outside world. It is time to leave the shadows and let your results scream for you. Are you ready to become the architect of your own silence?